Hi Mermaid Junkies, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a really good weekend. Jeffrey and I had a really great weekend. We stay super busy always. He has several accounts that he does, lawn maintenance and stuff on the side. And also we go and maintenance my parents' house. So that is a big job. So we did that all yesterday. So he basically worked almost 7 days a week this week. But anyway, for starters, I wanted to talk about something really quick because I had asked you guys a couple of weeks ago to go to my YouTube channel, Mermaid Junkie TV, that's the name of my channel, and subscribe, and then come back to my fan page and tell me that you subscribed, because I know I have a lot of subscribers, but then I had a lot more come after I had made that recommendation, or I asked you guys to do that. And so I picked my 3 winners, and you may have seen this if you follow my social media, but I don't know who the email addresses or the accounts, because a lot of people don't have YouTube accounts. They'll just go on and subscribe and things like that, but they don't have a YouTube channel. So therefore, I don't have the names of the people that won. I only know the call letters or whatever, which the only one person that I saw was Lisa Stone that won. And so the other 2 people haven't come forward. So I don't know if I should go ahead and redo the contest again and pick 3 more winners from maybe my Facebook page, fan page. So I'm gonna just shout out again one more time. If you guys recognize those 3 pieces of paper, or 2 pieces of paper, I'm sorry, on my fan page, and that's you, inbox message me so that I know, because I want to paint your little mermaidling. And anyway, so back to that. I think basically what I wanted to talk to, I got several people that I have reconnected with over the years, and I wanted to go ahead and do, I know I had said I was going to do a soulmate thing, and I'm still going to do that. I'm probably going to shoot that one right after this one, but I had several women that are really struggling. They're all going through divorces. I'm not going to shout out any names or anything like that, but they're really, really struggling. And so they've reached out to me, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do a video about how to know when it's time to swim away from a relationship. Basically, I'm speaking about marital relationships right now, because that's what these gals are struggling with. And so I thought it would be really a good video and maybe it will help someone. Okay, so there's a lot of times that you guys know that I've been into law of attraction for probably going on almost 3 years now. I mean, I've gotten a lot more heavy into it in the last 1.5 years, but I started learning a lot more about law of attraction probably in 2013 when I had moved to California. And anyway, and so a lot of times I'll use these words, and I'm going to kind of give a description about some of these things, because a lot of times people don't understand what I'm talking about, like when I say vortex or source or whatever. And if you do know a lot about like Abraham Hicks teachings or law of attraction, like The Secret and stuff, you kind of get that same verbiage from the books and things of that nature. But if you're not well equipped with knowing too much about law of attraction stuff, you might be a little bit like, oh, I'm out of the loop. I don't understand what you're talking about. Because I've had a couple of people go, Raquel, I don't know what you mean when you say vortex or vibrational, frequency and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to, because I'm going to talk about vortex in this video, I wanted to tell you what vortex was. Okay, so vortex basically is like a vibrational relationship between you and yourself. So collectively throughout our entire lives, since we're little and we come to this earth, we basically, through all of the contrasts and the experiences that we have, like contrast being when things aren't working out or things aren't going the way that we want them to. Like basically a lot of times people will say bad things when bad things are happening to you. But basically I like to look at it like contrast, because you need the contrast to know what's positive in life, right? Because if you didn't know and experience something negative, how are you going to know what the positive feels like? Or how are you going to know that that's something that you really want to have in your life if you don't have that contrast? So contrast is vital to our expansion and our growth. But basically what vortex is like I said, it's a vibrational relationship that you have with yourself. And so you can kind of picture it like it's a ball, right? And this is your inner being. This is you yourself, your inner being. And your vortex is basically all of the things as you're little and you're growing up that you are collectively, you don't know you're doing it. It's just by nature that you actually do this. It's not like you think about it or anything like that. It's this kind of like this little capsule that things that you are experiencing in life that you're putting through into that vortex. And so it's like a collective thing over here on the side, right? So let me give you an example. For example, in my vortex, all growing up, little did I know as I was going through my marriage with Mitch and having children and that sort of thing. I might have to stop it because I've got organic rice going and I think it might be boiling over. Anyway, okay, maybe I'll edit that out. But okay, so as I'm going through my years in life and as a little girl, little did I know, but now that I can look back in my vortex, through the experiences that I had with Mitch and all of the contrasting things that were happening to me, like I was collectively putting those things that I really wanted in a relationship that I wasn't getting out of my relationship with Mitch, in my vortex, which is, which some of the things would have been like, I never felt really important. Like it was always, I always felt like what I needed to say or how I wanted to be or things that I wanted to do weren't that important. And let me just specify that, yeah, it's true that it shouldn't be more important for Mitch to do these things than for me to do these things for myself. But we don't know that as we're going along in life. But collectively, I was putting all of these things in there by the experience that I had. It's like, okay, well, he doesn't notice me. He never compliments me. He never tells me I'm pretty. Or he doesn't ever say, thanks so much, Raquel, for, keeping a beautiful, clean home or whatever. And so all of those times that I kept thinking, not kept thinking, but those experiences and that contrast was happening to me because I felt like, unimportant, or I felt like I was being ignored, was actually putting all of these things in my vortex of like, okay, I want someone that really values my opinion or thinks what I'm saying isn't stupid or I'm not acting like a doctor, or you know what I'm saying? Like all of these things of not feeling important and stuff like that. I was collectively putting all of those things in there. Like, oh, I don't want someone that has, affairs on me. I don't want someone that is shady and tells lies about me. All the experiences of not feeling like, I was valued, or he never wanted to spend time with me. And this isn't a Mitch bashing session. I'm just giving you an example and letting you into my life of understanding what caused me to collectively put all of these things that I really had to have in my next relationship with that other person that I was not willing to subject myself to again, because this is what's happening. And a lot of times my girlfriends, I think, could probably relate to this, is that when you're in relationships and you get into a relationship, and I put a quote on Facebook today because I had just finished talking to a girlfriend, and she was saying, I don't understand. One girl, she was like, this is my fourth marriage. And I don't understand why I attract all these men that are, manipulative, narcissistic, abusive. I don't understand. Like, I never planned for this for my life. Like, why is this? I've been through 4 marriages. I never even thought, for one thing, I would go through 1 divorce, let alone 4 divorces. And so, and then she starts beating up on herself. And I think that's what a lot of people do, is they beat up on themselves thinking, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And there's really nothing wrong with you. The issue is that girls and men do this too. You will try to get over a relationship, or you're, going through a divorce or whatever. And so the first thing that everybody is always going to tell you is, oh, well, you need to date. You need to get out there and you need to get your feet wet again. And you need to, find somebody else and move on and all this kind of stuff or whatever. And it's like, every single time that is going to backfire on someone. And most of the time, and that's why my one friend, this is not her 2nd divorce, my other girlfriend, this is her 4th divorce, and it's because you're not mating with your soul. When you're in a relationship like that, and then you get out of that relationship, yeah, you are divided as far as like you've gotten a divorce, but there's still all of this aftermath of trauma and hurt and anger and resentment and all these different kind of things that you're still needing to experience and heal through before you start going on to taking your luggage and traveling on to this next relationship. Because what you're going to do is just find that you keep repeating yourself and you keep finding the same type of people. And the reason is because you're not mating with your soul. You're not healing those aspects of your internal being that you haven't made peace with. And so, if you're attracting somebody that's narcissistic, there might be some issues that you might need to dive into and understand, where is this stemming from? Where is this coming from? Like for me, the distrust, okay? So when I married Mitch, or when Mitch and I started dating, obviously I didn't know all of this kind of stuff. I mean, I didn't know anything about psychology or personal development or anything like that, or law of attraction stuff. But as time went on and permitted, I started to realize the reasons for why I attracted the type of person that Mitch was. And it's because, for one thing, I wasn't completely secure within myself. Obviously, that's a given. I mean, I was 14 years old. What can you expect, right? But because of that, because I was 14 and I was raised in a really super abusive household, there was verbal abuse, physical abuse. I mean, I think many of you guys know, and some of you are family and everything, but is that my father was an extreme alcoholic for a long time, until I was probably 13 years old. And then that's when he stopped drinking. But see, that's not the whole thing is you can eliminate the behavior, but that still doesn't mean like, okay, everything's hunky-dory now. There's aftermath of that. And so I was really beaten up emotionally because I didn't trust my dad. I could not trust my dad as far as I could throw him. I was always looking in the refrigerator thinking, I was like, Mommy, do you think Daddy's drinking? Do you think Daddy's drinking? Because I never trusted that, like, okay, so he quit drinking, but I would always look for hints and subtle things because I never trusted. And so then what do you think I'm going to find in a relationship with a man? Somebody that's abusive, somebody that doesn't care, basically doesn't pay you any attention and has like really no respect for you and lies to you all the time and is not faithful and that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the exact replica of exactly what my dad was. So I was basically my mom living out my own life, and it was kind of like a mirror image reflection of my mother. And anyway, so I hope that doesn't sound bad and like I'm bashing my parents and everything. I mean, like we have like a super good relationship now, and we have for many, many years. But I'm just trying to explain to you, like, and I think that that's the only way that we can explain and help someone to, because, words don't teach. I mean, only life experience teaches. And so that's the only way that life experience is actually going to teach my friends, you know, how to work through the, you know, these divorces that they're going through, and whatever. And so it's not like I'm trying to make anyone, you know, put anybody down or anything like that, but this is my own journey and this is my own life. And I think the only way for people to relate to me, oh my God, I'm going to start crying, but the only way for you guys to relate to me is if I can be honest and like explain to you, you know, from where I'm coming from. And that's the only way that I can do it, is to give of myself and my experiences in life and stuff. And I never have done that before because I was always cared what people thought about me, and I didn't want to look like I was weak, or I didn't want to feel like vulnerable, and I didn't want to feel like you know, you just, you know, when you're insecure and stuff, you want to be accepted, and things are all, you know, it's all how things appear to be. And that's not really how life is. Like, my friends, I really feel bad for them because they're really struggling. And, you know, there's a lot of times that you think that there's no way out, and you're like, how am I going to do this? Like, what is wrong with me? And then you start being, you know, beating up on yourself, and that just makes it 10 times worse because the momentum starts going, and then you're just like, you feel just downtrodden. And there's a lot of times that, you know, other people that experience bad relationships in their life too, you know, you try to go to friends or whatever, and they really don't understand you because, you know, if they haven't worked through their own stuff as well, then you're talking to someone else that's unhealed, you know. And so that's why I said, you know, before in that one video, is that when I was going through my divorce with Mitch, that, you know, I started to feel like I was at my parents' house and I was living with my parents. And, you know, I don't have my kids. Mitch got the kids. And I just wanted to lay on the couch for weeks because I just felt like I didn't want to reach out to anybody because not that someone probably couldn't understand me, but because I just didn't need any outside influence, because I was starting to get, you know, people whispering in this side and this side, and everything was always different. And I started to feel like I was having like anxiety attacks, and I felt like I was going crazy because you start hearing, you know, everybody has an opinion about what you should do, and no one knows what you should do. Only you know inside. And so I would encourage you to just, you know, I mean, if that's what you have to do, is go within yourself and just shut everyone out. It has nothing to do with them. It's just your capacity to comprehend what's going on in your life. And it's also a way to help you to be able to use your own inner guidance system to direct you to the path that you're supposed to go on. And just remember too, girls, that you're never on the wrong path. Even though it doesn't matter if you've been through 17 divorces. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter, because you're never wrong for what you're doing. It just, maybe it's taken you a little bit longer to get through, you know, the experience that you're having, or trying to understand what you're going through. You know, not everybody gets it right on the first time or the 5th time or the 7th time. I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for people to understand, and that's okay, as long as you're expanding and you're growing and stuff, and that's just what's important. So just try to remember to be easy and be gentle on yourself, and just be general. You know, don't beat up on yourself. Instead of saying, oh my God, what's wrong with me, I'm a psycho, I'm a this, I'm a that, or whatever, just try to be easy on yourself and say, you know, I didn't get it worked out this time. I haven't figured this out, and that's okay. You know, I'm working through it, and I'm getting there, and it's just a process, and everything's going to be okay. And I'm a good person, and I'm still learning, and this is a journey that I'm taking, and everything's just going to be all right. I promise you, everything's going to be all right. And I know, because everything's wonderful with me now, and I and yeah, it was a hard process, you know, but it made it so much easier once I was able to, I have a lot of wrinkles, don't I? It made it a lot easier for me to just kind of go inside myself and just try to continue to, like I said, mate with my own soul, and be happy with who I was, and love who I was, and be kind to Raquel. And that's all that you need to do for yourself, is just to be kind. Be kind to yourself, because it is really, you know, a lot of people struggle. And so
I think, you know, we get out of alignment when we start judging people and we start saying, you know, I hate that person. That person's a this or whatever. And I'm not completely, you know, blameless, because I mean, I did that, especially with Mitch. I was really, really angry with him, and there were moments that I had extreme hatred for him, but I know that that was just my way of lashing out, because I was so angry. Because this is the truth. When I was directing my anger towards Mitch, or whoever you're directing your anger towards, like if you find judgment in someone, you know, some girl walking down the street, you can always bet that it has something to do with you and not being connected to your inner guidance system. And so when I was really angry with Mitch, I was directing my anger towards him, but it was really about me being angry with myself, that I spent all of those years just pushing down how I really felt and what was really in my soul. And so I wanted to blame someone, because blame feels a lot better than depression. I mean, let's be honest. And so that's the truth of the matter. But anyway, I hope this wasn't depressing as hell. I didn't mean it that way. I just wanted to just send out some inspiring, encouraging words for my friends. And I just want you to know how much I love you, and thanks for being always there. And if you are one of those subscribers, because I know I've lost several people. I mean, I think I've lost 12 fans on my fan page, which is fine. But I hope that you weren't someone that unsubscribed or whatever, and then you won the mermaidling little drawing and stuff. And then I'm going to make you like a really cute little thing too, like a design thing. So let me know in the comments or whatever if you think I should redo the test again. I mean, the contest again, or the giveaway, because I never got any winners. Like, they never contacted me. So I don't know what happened to you girls. I hope you're having a great day. I love you very much. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao.